Have you been searching for the best ticket deals around? Well, look no further. With TixFlix, the price you see is the price you pay. And TixFlix just happens to have over $6 billion in ticket inventory just waiting for you. They absolutely mean it when they say every ticket, every venue, everywhere. And you can save even more with promo code PULSE in all caps to save you 5% off your total purchase. Just go to TixFlix.com and click the search bar. Search events based on your geographic location, pick the show you want, and bam, it's showtime. Sporting events, Broadway shows, concerts, and more with TixFlix.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for the email newsletter so you can stay up to date on the latest news and savings with TixFlix. That's TixFlix.com, TixFlitz.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.
Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of Superhero Speak.
But I think many of the people that love this character and that love superheroes in general have used these stories as inspiration to say, you know what? I'm going to do something good in the world. I'm going to make a difference like my hero when I was a kid.
That is my fondest memory of it, because when you're doing comic books, you want them to affect people, right? You want people to care. You want to strike emotions, and I knew that Clone Saga was striking a lot of emotions.
Can you imagine Pulp Fiction starring Goofy and Mickey Mouse?
I can totally imagine that.
I'm sure somebody's written that one too.
Quarter pounder with cheese in France, Mickey? What? Royale with cheese, Mickey. Yeah. I can totally.
See?
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yes, I gladly sacrifice that my progeny to you, almighty Marvel beast.
But Neil Adams is somewhere going, it's my time.
How do you measure success? Hey everyone, you're listening to Superhero Speak, and I'm your host Dave.
And I'm John.
I think I'm JD.
You think?
I believe so.
Did somebody owe somebody a beer there? I don't know.
Did you get in the head with a coconut?
If I did, I don't remember.
Well there you go.
That's out of the blue.
No, it's not. Coconuts are not out of the blue, they're out off of the tree.
They fall from a blue sky.
Oh, this is true.
So today we are starting with really bad puns and jokes, and awesome.
How's that different than any other time?
Isn't that what we do? It's kind of our brand.
Yes.
Well, I thought technical difficulties were our brand.
No, that's just your brand.
It just shows how our lack of professionalism, that's all.
Oh. Well, we do have to keep up a certain level of unprofessionalism.
Well, we do well at that.
Yes.
Very much so.
Or
yes.
something.
Or something. Oh my God, are we synced today? Jeez.
It's like the cover of Zeppelin 1.
See, I was thinking ABBA, so okay, we're good now. As long as I'm not synced like that. All right.
So how are you doing, John?
It's okay. Still got weird weather here, like you know.
Oh yeah.
Nice windstorm today, and I don't know. Everything else is good. Work is good. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Whatever. Can't keep up with all the new animes coming out and all that, and nothing really new I want to talk about. Well, except for a few things, but we'll talk about that after I find out how you're doing, JD. How are you?
Pretty good. We had that windstorm yesterday. Wrestling season's finally over. Cal Barbs placed fourth in the state of Illinois. Should have taken third, but we lost. But it was good. We had a great year.
Awesome. The kids are happy?
Kids are happy. Happy for now.
Yeah.
Are the coaches happy?
Coaches are all right in retrospect. At the time, we weren't so happy, but we're good.
Was it a bum call or
several? But that's okay.
All right, man.
Bums.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be.
And you, Dave? How are you?
Oh, me? I'm doing fine.
Why did you do that, JD? We don't have to ask him that.
He is the lead host.
Actually, you know what? I'm a little perturbed.
What? Okay, I'll take the bait. Why are you perturbed?
I had a great weekend. I did some different things. I went and actually saw the Lego Movie 2 with my family, and I'll talk a little bit more about that maybe later. But I'm coming home from work today, and I'm listening to a podcast who will remain nameless. Who we used to share a network with. I'll leave it at that.
Crap baskets.
And it's not one that we associate with anymore. And they're talking about, I don't remember exactly what they were talking about, like popularity. They were talking about online culture and seeking attention and that it didn't mean anything, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, the one host makes a shot which, look, I know I might be reading too much into it, but they said, a podcast that we used to, we know that's just like us. They're a Little Nothing podcast, but they have 65,000 followers on Twitter. So obviously they're using bots to get those followers. I'm like, what? I have never used a bot to get followers on Twitter. I mean,
no, we use highly advanced AI to get all those views. I mean,
I'm tired of Joe Rogan's crap.
Joe, come on, we're not supposed to talk about Joe. No, it was just like I knew that they were taking a pot shot at us without using our name, and it was just like, really? I thought that was all done.
Thus, trying to drum up the kind of situation where they get more attention through negativity.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I know.
Dweebs.
Get that. Bill Maher.
Get that, dweeb.
There are other people that could get that attention,
Are there?
Yes.
John, who are some other people that deserve that attention?
Yes, people that should have the attention. There are very few people that I get excited for. Well, wait, that didn't come out right. Oh, wait, now they came out right, but now it's weird.
I know Dirk gets you very excited.
You're doing great at this, John, by the way.
I know, right? So, yes, we have a couple of friends of the show that are coming out with Kickstarters next week. So here I am hawking their goods for, hopefully considerations later on. Now, Whoa. I didn't say what kind of considerations. First, these are, the first two are Dirk Manning and Kaylin Smith. And we talked to them at the New York Comic Con last year. Mm-hmm. And Dirk was coming out with a new game. Dirk is a comic book creator. He's come out with stuff like Nightmare World, which is an anthology series, I think, a bunch of short stories. And then Mystery. And he's kind of an interesting character. 99.9% of the time, you don't see his face. It's always covered for some reason. And the other 0.001% is when you find yourself in the insane asylum because you really shouldn't look at his face. Anyway, so he's done quite a bit around. And then there's Kaylin Smith of Hope fame. Both Dirk and Kaylin Smith wrote a book called Hope, and this is what the Kickstarter is about. Kaylin Smith came out with a webcomic called Plume, of which I own the omnibus, and since I can't show it to you, you can hear it. I just broke the table. Okay, so it's very big. Anyway, so yeah, they've both been doing a lot. They're coming out with a Kickstarter next Wednesday for Hope. Now, Hope was a comic book that, Dave, you read this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we both, I loved it. Do you want to say something about it? Do you remember?
So it was, it's basically set, like present kind of day, and it's this whole superheroes kind of show up, and it's kind of the point of view of like regular people. Would you trust superheroes if they showed up right away? would you treat them differently? And we find out that this couple gets into a car accident, and the husband dies, and the wife, you find out, has powers, and she saves the kids. So, they're at the hospital, and strangeness ensues after that. That's all I'm going to say.
Basically, it starts to go the way you think it would in real life, which is not so good. And so basically what they've done is, for the Kickstarter, they have managed to get, they came out with Hope number 1. The full Hope number 1 issue is going to be their free comic for Free Comic Day. And they're partnering with SourcePoint Press to get this Kickstarter out next Wednesday to do the rest of the Hope series. I think it's going to be 4 issues, and more information. Yes. More information is going to be available on Wednesday. I guess you can go to SourcePoint Press and read about it there. And you can also congratulate Kaylin Smith because she just got engaged. Also,
so you won't get anything that way. Anyway,
that was not. I'm looking for free comics. I don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
I just you remember we saw this. We got it last year at the Great Philly Comic Con, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we met them both there last year as well as in New York. But this is like last March. I bought Hope number 1, and we've been like hounding them trying to find out when they come out with the rest of the series. So this is, I'm kind of excited about this because it's that good a series. And the other thing I wanted to mention, a friend of mine who's an artist, she's coming out with a art book. Basically, she came out with last year she did this series, a different drawing every day for was it Inktober, 31 tea dragons. And she did a different dragon with a different tea every day. And the backgrounds of each of the paintings was actually the brewed tea displayed in the painting. So she's coming out with a Kickstarter next Friday, and that is it's gonna be pretty cool. There's gonna be, she's gonna be offering up some of the originals of the Tea Dragons. The book is gonna be like 60 pages or so. And you can buy any of the dragons, any of the prints themselves on her store Envy from Silvertails, SILVERTALES.storeenvy.com. And Dirk Manning is at dirkmanning.com, and Kaylin Smith is at kaylinsmith.net. And that covers just about everything I want to say.
Okay, so first off, you said it was going to be quick.
Yeah.
But two, what is the launch dates for the Hope Kickstarter?
The Hope Kickstarter is Wednesday, March 6th, and the Kickstarter for the Tea Dragon book is going to be Friday, March 8th.
Okay.
And if you want to find the Kickstarter for Kaylin Smith and Dirk Manning will be announced, I believe, on SourcePoint Press's website, and the Kickstarter for the Tea Dragon set for Kit Steele is going to be on. Actually, you could look at her Patreon, I believe. So, and also on Facebook. If you look at Silvertails, on Facebook.
All right.
We'll link to the both of them.
JD, you awake?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
All right. Well, now that you plugged that, I'm going to have to mention again. Don't forget, boys and girls, Superhero Speak is now proud members of the Pulse Podcast Network. And as part of that, they have a deal going on now with Tick Splits. If you head on to Tick Splits, you can buy tickets for sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and Comic-Con, all through them. And if you use the offer code PULSE, at sign out, you get 5% off your tickets. So check them out. You know, just making sure I mentioned that one. So speaking of, I had mentioned earlier social media. Let's talk a little social media madness.
Just madness, right? Because
madness.
Social media is madness, basically.
So let's start with, this is a quick and easy one. We talked about the Aladdin movie. Saw the first trailer with Will Smith on his blue glory. And TC on Twitter had said that he looks fine to me. I'll see it. I'll see the movie. So yeah. I mean, you know, again, what were people expecting him to look like? We talked about that on the show. It's Will Smith with pointy ears and blue skin. Like, there's not much you can do there, right?
No. Not in real life. I still don't get why these are just cash grabs. I mean, come on.
All movies are cash grabs.
I know, but we've talked about this before. But this is just this is just blatant. This isn't.
Are you saying that it's not just artistic expression?
Yes.
Oh. Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. No uncertain terms. Yeah.
Well, speaking of cash grabs, we all talked about this last week. The oversaturation of the TV market with superhero shows.
We complained about that. We didn't discuss it.
John is having a very difficult time keeping track of all the shows that are currently on TV.
I have trouble keeping track of my own name, but yeah.
JD gave him some good news and had told him the Punisher was canceled. So on Twitter, we had talked about this, and of course, Gateway Comics came in and said, there are certainly too many to keep up with and catch up. I'm watching season 2 of Daredevil now. A couple of years ago, my wife and I tried to get caught up on Arrowverse, but it was pretty hopeless. It's nice to have choices, though.
It is.
Yeah. And then Rob Foster, one of our favorite contributors, said, purist geeks have enough trouble explaining the multiverse to each other. I doubt the TV audience comprehends, much less keeps track.
Or cares.
Or cares, yes.
But we geeks try. We really try to keep track of it all, so that otherwise how can we be outraged when they get it wrong?
But it is so true. Like, how many times have you had an argument with another nerd about, like, oh, well, this happened here. Well, in this issue, that countered it because of this. And it's like, oh, well, that happened on Earth 1. And, well, that happened on Earth 26. And it's just like...
Every time I talk to you, Dave. Every time.
Not every time.
Pretty much. I mean,
okay.
Give it 5 minutes, we'll have an argument. Don't worry. I mean, it's going to happen. JD is very wise in that he stays out of those.
I just don't, I mean, like, I'm a good old nerd, but I mean, like, even my kids will ask me sometimes, like, all right, who wins in a fight? Hulk or Superman? And I always answer the same. Whoever the writer wants to win. Like, fiction.
I know, but the real answer is One Punch Man, because he is the greatest fictional MacGuffin there is. Yes.
One Inch Punch Man was Bruce Lee.
What's that? Oh.
Bruce Lee did the 1 inch punch. So he'd be 1 inch punch man.
Oh.
Sorry.
Hey,
but like, I don't know, man. I can't get into these. I don't understand these things. Like, oh, so and so will definitely beat. So, I mean, like, it's just, I don't get it. Like, they're stories.
Well, you know, I mean, you're not the only one. I mean, like, they did a death battle between Superman and Goku of anime fame. One of the greatest anime fights.
I know of Goku. That one I'm familiar with.
Yes. But you can imagine the type of flack they got from Goku getting killed by Superman. And then, of course, they did it again later after Dragon Ball Super came out, where Goku got more power-ups and stuff, and, you know, Superman still beat him. And their answer, the Death Battle guy's answer was exactly the same as you just said, JD. It's whoever basically whoever says it's the writer that says who's going to win. And the writers, the way they write Superman is his whole point is that he wins in the end. He'll be as strong as he needs to be.
Right.
I always write it up to this. How do you kill? I've said this in the show before, but I'll do it again. How do you kill a vampire?
Wooden stake?
You take the writer out.
That's what it is. However the writer wants, because there's no such thing as vampires.
Wait, what?
Whatever the writer says is the way to kill a vampire, because there's no such thing as vampires.
Whoa. Hold on here. They sparkle. Come on. Everyone knows this.
That pretty much cements my point.
Yeah.
So, speaking of strange fiction and old views, like John and I getting old, we talked about Endgame going to be 3 hours.
It's going to be glorious.
And will John and I be able to sit through the whole thing without adult diapers? And
I'm not going to drink for the 3 days before that.
That's a good plan.
No drinking, no eating. I want to be able to sit through the whole thing.
Then you can hallucinate and make up your own movie.
So Gateway Comics asked, at what point does it become appropriate for a movie to have an intermission? The theaters would benefit as everyone runs to go and get more snacks. What's the downside?
Intermission is the thing that I want to say kind of started going away in like the 60s, because that was the thing for like your Ben-Hurs, for example.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that struck me first, but yeah, I don't know if it's advantageous in this day and age to allow people to leave the theater, because you always run the risk of them not coming back. Not to say people won't, but why tell them you can?
Well, I guess if the movie's bad enough.
Well, someone's not going to like it. If one person, granted, they do have your money, but if one person leaves, isn't that one too many?
Yeah, I agree.
But at that point, you've already got their money. So who cares, right?
Yeah, but you don't want people walking around, you just don't want, it's bad optics, shall we say.
Yeah.
This is true. Having a lot of people walk out before the movie's over.
Because some people start live streaming, like, this movie sucks, man, which they'll do anyway, let's be real.
But
you got to remember, though, in the 60s, they also, movie theaters had at most like 2 screens. And that was
good point.
For a large one. So people walking out, I guess would look bad because it's easy. But these days you can't have all these people suddenly hit the concession stand while you're trying to fill the other 12 theaters at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's part of it too.
Plus, it's just expensive to eat at the concession stand.
Oh God, yes. I did see a movie last weekend, How to Train Your Dragon 3. And, a small popcorn and a small water, $12 fucking bucks. Excuse my language, but just, my gosh.
They charged you for the water?
Yeah. Well, you get bottled water,
Oh, yeah, bottled water. Okay.
Yeah.
That's criminal.
Yes, it is.
I've started bringing you bring your own candy. They know you bring your own candy, but
we at Superhero Speak do not advocate the practice of bringing your own concessions into a movie theater. But if you do, allow me to recommend the use of a hoodie.
Yes.
Well, I always find it funny that,
got the front pouch.
Growing up, even today still, my son's favorite snack at the movie theater is Bunch of Crunch.
What is a Bunch of Crunch?
I have no idea what that is.
It's it's basically like Nestle Crunch Bar, but broken up into pieces. Right?
Okay.
And that's always been his favorite candy at the movie theater. And so it's like you can...
Pre-chewed candy bar, okay.
Not
pre-chewed. Pre-chewed, just broken.
Right. You can get it at the movie theater for like $5 for a box, or they sell the same exact box at the dollar store.
I've never heard of this candy. I'm more blown away by its existence.
Anyway, back to
we have
our
show.
Audience. Yeah.
Speaking of stuff that you will be eating to stay alive while you wait for the movie to end.
The Devil's Enemy had said, okay, I believe this was a typo because they said, yes, we'll purchase right before movie. But I think what they meant to say is, will purge right before a movie.
That doesn't make much sense either. But I mean, like,
No,
don't we all purchase right before the movie?
Some people
purge.
Use the facilities.
Barf. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Never heard that referred to as purging. Purging, I've heard is barfing or murdering on a grand scale.
Yeah, purging.
Devil's Enemy, you'll have to explain it more what you meant.
I get it. It's just, yeah.
I think you think you get it, but we don't get it.
I don't see. None of the theaters around me have a vomitorium, so I don't think I could really go through with that.
How Romanesque.
And Partha Carr said, "The more, the merrier." The more is a question mark. So, yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think we can make it through. Come on, I sat through all the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm fine.
Well, after the first 2 hours, you lose feeling in your legs, so you can't get up after that. So
exactly, that's the worst part.
What's interesting is you get less showings per screening with a longer movie like that. Because think about it, you show a 3-hour movie, you only show it twice in a a 6-hour block, as opposed to being able to show it 3 times.
Well,
so you just split.
Block, really.
Well, yeah, but you just split your profits in third.
Well, considering this movie, I mean, you got to remember, like the movie theater near me in Downingtown has got 12 screens. There's a movie tavern like only 5 minutes past that. And then if I go just a little bit farther, there's another like 12 screens and a huge, proper IMAX in King of Prussia. So between all those theaters, and if they're playing them, I mean, this is Avengers Endgame. They'll probably each be playing on 4 screens apiece. I don't think they'll miss any dollars from this.
Well, I disagree with that. I mean, like because those theaters want all the money they can. But, if you have less screenings, there's less opportunity to make movies. I mean, that's why we have this roughly, hour and a half to 2 hour sweet spot of movies, and movies aren't traditionally 3 to 4 hours long. I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying it's starting to push the boundary of what can work.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that one of the rumors with Justice League? They cut it down to be 2 hours to make sure they could fit more screenings in.
And then it made no sense.
Is there a movie with more rumored stuff left out than Justice League?
True.
Like the making of this film has become the stuff of legend for a terrible movie.
Yes. It's right up there with the Corman Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Black Widow rated R?
Move along.
Speaking of possibly legendary movies, we had talked about the possibility of an R-rated Black Widow movie. And of course, I had to bring in this one. A lot of people responded to this. And the first one is Rusty Gilligan.
Whoa.
Good friend of the show.
Okay.
He said, as long as it's a good movie, who cares about the rating? And he's got a good point,
Parents for 10-year-olds, that's who care.
I see plenty of 10-year-olds in the Deadpool movie, so I don't think they care that much.
Depends on if you love your children or not.
I think. See, the thing is though that even with Deadpool, it couches all of the violence in humor. I don't think if there's no way they can do that with a Black Widow backstory.
Tell me we can't get a slapstick version of the Black Widow.
Oh, I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm just saying that they probably didn't. But yeah, that would gods.
Stefan Swashberger said,
God, I love these names.
Are you serious with, R, capital R, already drooling a bit? Hashtag wife material.
Not your wife, dude.
Oh, is that his wife? Is he saying waifu or wife?
No, he's saying wife material, as in Scarlett Johansson. As in your dreams, fool.
The DM behind the screen. I'd be shocked. Marvel Comics don't generally lend themselves to those kinds of stories. Punisher? Anyway, in the first place, and it seems like it would be both risky and foolish for the House of Mouse to produce something like that? How many young children watch Marvel movies? To which Scott Herman replied, I don't think it's absurd to make a few of the darker sides of Marvel. It did great for Logan and Deadpool. I'm not saying make everything go R, but certain content I think can be appropriately made with an R rating. And then he replied, the DM behind the screen replied, I'll believe it when I see it. And it's an interesting point, right? Like, there's this whole stigma around Disney, like they're only going to do family entertainment, but they've done R-rated movies through other through other companies before.
Mm-hmm.
This whole idea, like, oh, they're not going to do it because it's Disney. It's like, I don't know. Again, we talked about Bob Iger's already said that they'll continue with the R-rated Deadpool movies. So. Right.
They'll just put it under one of their different subsidiaries, so it won't have the castle in front, but it'll have something. Perhaps they'll resurrect Touchstone. Or Miramax.
So, at Splinterwolf, J. Jason M. Todd?
J. Jason Todd. Jason Todd.
Nice.
While an R-rated Black Widow flick would be great, especially if it includes her backstory with Winter Soldier, I can't see Disney pulling the trigger on this kind of decision.
Pardon the pun.
The MCU is surely too firmly established as family-friendly to include an R-rated franchise entry. Oh, pardon me.
It doesn't have to be, though. That's the thing.
We just addressed it.
Mim Headroom.
Sorry.
That's the best thing about the internet is usernames. Marvel is pivoting its target audience. So there's no longer trying to attract people who watched Logan, but rather the girls who say they want to see Captain Marvel. It makes sense if Captain Marvel flops, execs who know fans would be unwilling to give another female lead a shot so soon.
Why are we assuming the Captain Marvel's gonna flop?
Or not only that, like, why are we assuming that if Captain Marvel flops, that okay, then it's the female lead's fault? Well, it could just be it could flop just because it was a poorly written movie. That's the other thing.
Yeah, but you've heard what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes, right? About Captain Marvel?
Those incels are bombing the site trying to get bad reviews even though they haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, and because of that, there are, news organizations that don't do research and don't get what's going on, and they're saying, hey, it looks like this might flop, and they do opinion pieces on it, and that, of course, just pushes.
We have a news story related to that later on in the cast.
Okay.
Pause.
Yes, pause your thoughts for right now.
Yes. Wait a minute, I have thoughts.
So the last thing we talked about the Trench movie, and Lost in L.A. said he replied with a meme from Big Bang Theory, and it's I said it before and I'll say it again. Aquaman sucks.
Aquaman didn't suck. It was basically brain candy, but the Trench thing is like if it were Marvel, I'd give it a chance. I don't see this happening.
Without Aquaman, there's no point. I missed that episode, but yeah, without Aquaman, there's no point.
And Midnight Kingdom's night has become restless. Dun dun dun. Meh. Don't care either way.
Can't say he doesn't inspire passion in people.
No, cannot say that at all. All right, so now that we got that craziness out of the way, let's talk a little news here. Anything exciting? Anything exciting happened yesterday?
A bunch of people gave themselves some stupid statues.
And they patted themselves on the back?
And talked about how great they were.
Yeah, I think they could call those the Oscars. So, I guess we have to mention the exciting thing that came out of that is Black Panther won the MCU's first Oscars. They not only won one, they won 3 Oscars. Best production design, costume, and score, right?
Well deserved for all 3.
So, So congratulations, Black Panther, on your 3 wins. Of course, they did not get Best Picture. That went to The Green Book.
A movie that nobody liked or saw.
A lot. Yeah. I even have in my circles, I've gotten the same thing. Everybody's wondering what the hell they did to grab that. The Green Book shouldn't have gotten it. And they're not even saying that Black Panther should have. They were saying some other movies should have gotten it even, but not Green Book.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a couple commercials for it. I didn't know anything about it. A guy I work with was complaining about it because it was basically, if you look into it, it was a made up story. Like
it's not
a real story, but how that movie, how it's portrayed was made up. That's not how it really happened.
True, because the Green Book actually exists. Something called a Green Book actually existed back in the 60s.
But the relationship between the 2 characters in the movie, like the driver and the musician, was much different in real life than they portrayed in the movie.
Yeah.
Were you talking about Bohemian Rhapsody?
Oh, yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody. They were saying that should have won, but...
No, apparently that also took a lot of liberties with reality.
Oh,
of course it did. Yeah.
That took major liberties. I mean, come on. I was alive when Queen was around. They never broke up and then reunited for Live Aid. Like, that was like...
Yeah. And also they don't have a film rating that they could have used to show what really happened in real life with Queen. There's just not a high enough rating for that.
I think people should watch. There is a documentary on Netflix that I've seen before on the History Channel, and it's actually really good. It goes into the whole detail and everything, which was interesting because, like, one of the things they talked about in the documentary, and they kind of hint on in Bohemian Rhapsody, they want to do I Want to Break Free, the video for that. Does anyone remember the video for I Want to Break Free?
No, I don't have my ARP card yet.
Oh, that was a mighty blow.
That hurt. That hurt.
That is a pain that will linger.
So basically, Deacon, I can't think of his first name, the bass player, had this idea, since a lot of British comedy, they do drag, they all dressed up in drag in the video.
But Kiss already existed, so no. Never mind.
But a lot of people, they got a lot of backlash, and MTV wouldn't show the video in the United States. So, like, that ended up hurting them. And, but it wasn't like in the movie, they make it like this big deal and Freddie Mercury gets really mad at them for it and everything. But it's like, no, they just regrouped and came out with their next album. But yeah, in the movie, they make it like they broke up there. And it was like, no, that's not what happened.
Drama.
Yes, it makes for better movies.
Hey, Spidey won.
Yes.
Yeah.
About freaking time. It should have won.
Should have won
more.
Yeah, best animated movie went to Spider-Verse.
I think it could have, I don't know, could have gotten best score too. I mean, the soundtrack that was pretty good.
It was good. It was good. I think Black Panther was a little bit better though, to be quite honest. A little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
You guys, I'll give that one to you guys.
I mean, Spider-Verse is the one that I went out and actually went straight to Amazon and downloaded the whole soundtrack. I didn't do that with Black Panther. I didn't even think to.
I did. I really like the Black Panther one.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
But
Spider-Man was good too, though. Yeah.
But yeah, it won. So awesome. About time.
That doesn't make you right. That just means they won an award.
You're right. The award shows me nothing, as this green thing proves.
Yeah. The money speaks.
But speaking of Disney and cartoons and wonderfulness, Marvel and cartoons. Did you guys? We haven't talked about this yet on the show, so I wanted to talk about The Offenders. Have you guys looked into this at all?
No, I didn't know what you meant, and when I saw the headline of the email, I was like, "What is The Offenders?" Because I haven't been. I don't even. Is this an actual? I mean, I'm supposed to be up.
These
on
are actual This is all going to be. These are a series of cartoons. Are all going to be on Hulu. Which, number one, it shows you that they're definitely, Disney and Hulu are going to be working together. Jeff Loeb, who heads up the Marvel TV stuff, is in charge of these cartoons, and they're doing a MODOK cartoon.
Oh my god.
A Howard the Duck.
Oh my god.
Could be fun.
Well, yeah. Now that Marvel owns it, they can use his original design, and because they don't have the Donald Duck thing going on. But
Tigra and Dazzler, and what was the last one? Hit Monkey. So, but here's the thing: too. MODOK is going to be written by Jordan Bloom and Patton Oswalt. The Erica I don't know how to say that name. Renawd, whatever, and Chelsea Handler are teaming up for the Tiger and Dazzler cartoon. Howard the Duck is Kevin Smith and Dave Wills, and Hit Monkey is Josh Gordon and Will Speck. So, like,
they weren't kidding about the offender thing, were they?
Well, I mean, the whole thing is it's like they're getting some, well-known writers to work on these shows.
But it sounds like MODOK's going to be like Space Ghost Coast to Coast or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to all have a comedic appeal to it, and then they're going to team up in a cartoon called The Offenders, which obviously is a dig on their own on the other show, The Defenders. So,
which they could have done better with, but
so like, what do you guys think of this? Are you going to check it out? Do either of you have Hulu?
I actually just canceled my Hulu because I haven't watched anything. There was nothing to watch on it that I wanted to see, or had the time to see. So, well, Hulu's got the Runaways, right? Or
Hulu's and Cloak and Dagger.
And Cloak and Dagger. Oh, okay, yeah. But they get Cloak and Dagger after it's been shown on regular TV. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm kind of. I'll wait till I hear some stuff about it. Like, none of those things makes me go, "Oh man, I gotta watch that." But I don't know.
I mean, I have to say, is it? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll say it's not moving me, but don't let my apathy stop you.
I might watch the Howard the Duck stuff. Ironically,
well, exactly. Like, I like Howard the Duck, and I'm a Kevin Smith fan, so I kind of want to see what he does with it, what kind of direction they take it in.
There's going to be a giant spider in there, isn't there? There's going to be a giant spider in there somewhere.
He didn't want the giant spider. They made him put the giant spider in.
But they might put it in there as a gag. I could see him doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
So,
I suppose it can't be horrible. Can it?
Well, we all saw the Spielberg Howard the movie, right?
Yeah. I've seen it a few times actually. I didn't mind much. It was campy, but
Does she do the duck? They should take it out like she did the duck.
She did the duck.
That's weird. 30 years later, it's still weird.
Very weird.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
So
move on before that gets weird. No, wait, too late.
So I'm going to keep my eyes on this one for more development news to see, when they maybe announce when they're going to be released. But I mean, it's very interesting, I think.
For some definitions of interesting.
So speaking of Disney and television and streaming services, Kevin Feige has come out and he has promised that all of the Marvel shows that are going to be on Disney Plus, so that's the Scarlet Witch and Vision show, the Loki show, and so on and so forth, will be heavily tied into the MCU. It's no more this like, oh look, we kind of get a loose tie-in on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, I like that, so good.
So, we were complaining that there's already too much to keep up on. Are we going to have to watch these shows to understand some stuff that happens in the movies going on?
Oh, they're doing with TV what they used to do with the comics. Oh my gosh! And you have to buy Disney Plus to.
I hope they don't do that. I hope the TVs just remain like ancillary to the movies. Because that also hurt their comics is when they started having like the 90s where you have to buy 15 books to get this one. Like that didn't. I think we've proven that didn't help sales. I don't think they'll do that. I hope. I hope.
In this case, it wouldn't. I mean, like the price of subscribing to Disney Plus wouldn't be the problem. The problem in this case is something we've already discussed. Nobody has time to keep up with all of these shows now. I mean, it would be, if you had the money, it was easy to keep up with the comics because, you could blow through 20 comics in an hour, but with the shows, nobody can watch 6 hours of Marvel stuff a day, even a week sometimes, especially people with real lives like you, JD.
I couldn't do it. Like if they want me to watch TV and follow movies, I need TV to back up my movies, I would just stop going to the movies.
Yeah, seriously, I'm a manic depressive. I will sit all weekend on the couch and not move with a cat pleading for me to get up and give it food. And I still can't keep up with all the shows. And I put it on autoplay.
You might want to see a therapist about that.
Well, I do have a therapist, Jack Daniels.
No, it's called Jack Daniels and TV.
We're breaching into another topic altogether here.
Oh, poor John. Poor John. We're sorry. Is there anything we can do for you?
Stick it's cool, then I'd be happy.
Oh, okay.
I was going to offer to buy you some more alcohol, but.
Well, again, they canceled Jessica Jones and the Punisher, so they let you have to watch.
That's sad, though, because those were good. I mean, those were really good.
So I brought an article here that talks about the stars are reacting to their cancellations of those two shows. Did you guys read through this at all?
And that was bad. That was...
Was it bad?
Not bad, but, it's just... It's sad. It's mostly sad, really.
So Kristen Ritter put on her Instagram, taking a few weeks back at the table read for our series finale. I love these people to the moon and back, and it has been a dream to play Jessica along my amazing cast and the best crew in the business. For the past 5 years, I am so grateful for every second of it. We have the best fans. You guys mean the world to me, and I appreciate you beyond words. The final season of Jessica Jones is coming later this year, and I am proud of how we complete JJ's journey. I can't wait for you all to see it. Stay tuned, and more to come. So, what's interesting about that is, they got to know it was coming before they finished filming.
Ugh.
So they can kind of do a goodbye or put a period on her story a little bit.
Unlike the Luke Cage, where they ended it on a cliffhanger, which will never be resolved now. Unless you just want to believe, hey, Luke Cage became a supervillain. So,
I truly believe that these shows are some very to find new life on Hulu at some point. At least some way to tie up these loose ends.
Right. What's her name? Amber Rose? Riva? She plays,
yeah.
What's her face? On The Punisher. I can't think of the character's name on The Punisher she plays. What an adventure we've had. Marvel and The Punisher fans have been an amazing and shown such support for us for our show. Wish we could live on, but it will be saying ciao to Dinah for now and
Dinah Madani.
Yeah, Madani. Dinah for now and having a toast with our friends made an experience shared in 2 years of the journey. It's interesting too when you think about it that way. Like, yeah, the Punisher was 2 years of their lives, and Jessica Jones was 5 years of the other actors' lives. You know, it's a big chunk, you know, to just walk away from too.
And I can't see anybody else playing Jessica Jones at this point. I mean, Kristen Ritter did a great job of basically looking like a damaged human being. You know, I really hope they don't recast. I hope if they do continue that story, they hope they keep it with her.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we know for sure, we talked about this, I think, before, when we talked about the cancellations, is the deal is they can't do anything with the characters 2 years from after they announce the cancellation. So, but in retrospect, like, or when you really think about it, 2 years is nothing, you know, with this stuff. You won't think about it, and boom, it'll be on Hulu or something.
Not if you're too busy watching MODOK and Tower of the Duck interact. I mean,
exactly.
That'll melt your brain. It'll take 2 years to just recover.
You're going to be so distracted by The Offenders and all the great stuff on Disney Plus that you'll just be like, when they show up again, oh, just old friends coming in to say hi.
It'll be nice brain cleanse.
Maybe JD can write some of the shows when they come on Hulu.
Nah.
Nah?
Nah, no interest in that.
You have no interest in writing a Punisher TV series?
No. Not at all.
Even if they paid you $1 million an episode?
They don't do that.
but I get it. Is it because you're just not interested or you don't?
I just want to do my own thing. I like my own stuff. I don't like the thing of when you play in someone else's sandbox, you have to play by their rules, and that's not fun.
True.
So very true.
I like putting my He-Man in the Millennium Falcon and flying it around as a kid. You know,
but he didn't fit into the Millennium Falcon.
Well,
use your imagination. He did just fine.
I never. Jeez. How wrong could you be? You're supposed to put the Voltron lions in the Millennium Falcon. I don't get you anymore.
They literally didn't fit.
Well, not with that attitude. They didn't.
No, but that's the thing though. It's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I spent a lot of my 20s trying to chase writing people's stories, and I talk to friends who are in comics now, and they're like, oh, you know, the editors kind of tell you what the stories are being. You just kind of putting words in. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's much more fun creating your own worlds and your own characters and stuff like that. You know? It's yours.
So you think it's important to create your own ideas?
Well, I think so. I mean, like...
And not chase trends and do your own thing?
Well, you can chase trends. There's money in trends. But, I mean, like... I just don't want to... I mean, I just don't have any interest in work for hire.
Right.
Like, work for hire, like, it's always the lowest bidder, and... You know, Bill Finger created Batman, and he's in an unmarked pauper's grave. Like, that doesn't. I read these stories and I go, well, gosh, I don't want this.
Yeah,
you know,
no, that's true.
You know, I'm happy writing my own stuff.
Well, speaking of DC and chasing trends, DC has finally decided to jump on the zombie bandwagon.
15 years too late.
Yeah, 15 years too late. They're coming out with Deceased.
Great title. Great title, though. Kudos.
Which have the DC heroes fighting the zombie apocalypse inside the DC universe. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, it's tough to say, oh, they're just copying Marvel after Marvel did it 15 years ago. But it's like, why?
Isn't the zombie craze like dying down? I mean, I
thought so.
We went through vampires, like Walking Dead, and all those shows are starting to wind down now. Yeah, I mean, you know, if they wanted to do something, they should get on like the werewolf bandwagon of that stuff.
Dude, zombies have been strong for a long. You said 15 years. Like Robert Kirkman did the Marvel zombie thing 15 years ago, based on the success of the original Walking Dead. And, like, the show definitely is over the hill, but, I mean, still gets ratings. Still does all right.
Yeah, but again, I don't know how much longer it's really going to last.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's still not right now. Like, I definitely think the whole point is they're definitely trying to
Oh yeah.
John, you like DC as much. Do you have any interest in reading whatsoever?
No, if they're Terminator or Alien or something, then I'd be interested, but not zombies.
Yeah, it's the same way. Like, I don't know, what you... I don't give
Not giving, I mean, I don't know. It's not really interesting. It's more of a oddity. You know, you get your crush, but I don't think it would hold anybody's in for very long. I mean, like, okay, that's good. So you're you're basically done. That's it. You know, even a zombie horde. You could have a zombie city, and
wait. Hold on. Zombies v magic, Superman magic, and if a zombie can Black Panther to Superman, then he make the zombie Superman.
Zombie Kryptonians would be kind of cool.
No, but they've already got Solid Grundy.
That's really something. Wait 10 years with Black Panther, so think about it.
Yeah. That's a bit right.
But Black Panther only one part of the whole Dark thing,
yes.
Right?
They were
so
charged was green.
Yes.
Green.
No, yeah, DC, we don't get it. Even our chief DC opponent doesn't understand.
Yeah, I guess it'll be oddity, might shit out, but I don't
know. Speaking of other things that do we really understand them? Probably not. Of course, we all know this. Ben Affleck is officially on Cowl. He isn't going to be Batman anymore.
Not really special.
Yeah, not the bad, but great outing as him. Not his fault. And of course, Zack Snyder made him his return to Futurama. They were talking to Matt, and he said, there was a time above, a time before. There were perfect things, done absolutes, but things fall. Things earth, and what falls is fallen. In the dream, it took me to life, beautiful life, ender. Thank you for the bus, for seeing me wet, things glorious and an amazing heart. Zack Snyder, yeah. You want to be artistic, but
you can't. You just don't have it in you.
No. Wow. I don't know what to say to that other than
I got
a little over the top. I'm wondering what he was drinking before they talked to Newsarama.
I don't know.
Nothing?
I got nothing.
He was watching Howard the Duck and drinking Jack Daniels, right?
No, that's more of that's more Goldschlager.
Okay.
Yeah. There are nuances to your basic mental breakdown, based on the type of liqueur that you are imbibing.
So continuing on, of course, Marvel's got their Offenders coming out. DC doesn't want to be out. No, Darky. DC's got their own new cartoon coming out. I had no idea it was a thing. And then a trailer came out. Did you guys watch the trailer? It's DC Superhero Girls. That's going to be coming to Cartoon Network on March 17th. It's somewhere in between a serious show and Teen Titans Go.
It's Teen Titans for sure.
Well, it's some serious. I mean, if it's going to be anything like Justice League, now I remember. Justice League Action. If it's anything like that, it'd be okay. Even though it looks a lot cartoony than that.
Oh, yeah, it's very cartoony. It's definitely, the debut is on March 18th, 4 p.m. on the Cartoon Networks. Definitely trying to appeal to a younger audience. And of course that's always the goal, right? Bring them in young, sell the toys, get them to buy some books. I don't have an issue with it. Didn't they do something similar to this just like 2 years ago though?
They did. I was confused first because I watched some of the older DC superhero girl stuff with my kid, and the image style is different, and it seems like they're just regurgitating, on something they've done before. Similar to Teen Titans, like Teen Titans Go.
Right. I mean, the first one, like, they were in like a high school kind of setting. They were learning to be heroes, and they were all teenage style girls. This is just, they're already heroes, and they're just, having fun adventures, as it were.
Yeah. I don't think we're the audience, but that's okay.
No.
It's almost like Powerpuff Girls kind of thing going.
Yes.
I'd be okay with that. That was a great show.
I know, but that was the right, and that was written for, that was written for both kids and adults,
Those are the best kind of shows where you can sit and watch. I watched nothing with my kid where I can sit and go, this one's actually kind of fun.
Yeah. Because the things that you get are going right over your kids' heads, but there's enough to keep them interested.
Right.
So I have a question for the D fans in the room. Who's Jessica Cruz?
She's one of the Green Lanterns. When Jeff Johns relaunched Green Lantern around the latter half of the New 52. It was her and Simon Baz became Green Lanterns on Earth while Hal Jordan was off doing stuff. It's kind of when I checked out of Green Lantern, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
I checked out before that, but I've seen reference to that in other places. They were on some of the, I don't know, I swear there was a DC animated movie that had them in it. I'll have to look back at the notes.
Probably. They've released a lot of movies every year, so hard to keep track.
Yeah, I think the last thing that I've actually sat down and read from DC was Court of Owls, which is, New 52, but still, it was just like, I never read any of that other stuff. Sorry, DC. All right, I was just curious. All right. And then, let's see. Oh, last but not least, I promised you, John, we would get to this. We had talked about...
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep.
Captain Marvel and the Trolls, talking about it. First, they were talking about it on Rotten Tomatoes, trying to bring the score down. The other part of it, apparently, I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw this article. They're trying to pit it against the Shazam movie. Saying that, I don't like, I'm going to go see Shazam, because that's the real Captain Marvel and blah, blah. So basically, Zachery Levi went onto Instagram and posted a video, and he's like, look, I don't know what's going on, but don't pit our movies against each other. Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, again, this is these the people that are pitting them against each other. Well, first off, it's you pit them against each other because Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel be Captain Marvel. There you go. But the other thing is, I was wondering if it's why would you introduce politics into this stuff? We want to see these superhero movies. The Captain Marvel one from Marvel is, okay, it's got a woman lead. So freaking what? I don't care. I've looked into it. I don't see that Brie Larson's politics are any more extreme than anybody else's that I've heard. And it shouldn't matter because she's, unless she's like a Nazi, I don't care what she believes in as long as she's good in the movie. So, but apparently there's this huge movement that is, like you said, driving down the Rotten Tomatoes score with, and Rotten has actually started to take action on it. They're actually trying to delete any of the reviews or pre-reviews because it's not out yet. They're deleting any of them that have anything to do with politics or anything like that, or don't have anything to do with the movie itself.
In honesty, I think the fall on Tomatoes, they shouldn't allow you to post reviews for a movie, fan reviews on a movie before release.
Amen to that. That is definitely a flaw in the Rotten Tomatoes system. That they allowed that. I'm sure the brand was getting it. I also think that they would thought that this would be a problem. Such a value, but then underrating the amount of time a bunch of nerds have. Well, I don't even use the word nerd in our lovely glowing way. These guys are just straight up dweebs. But imagine being so offended by the idea of a female leading a superhero movie that you dedicated this as the cross you choose to die on.
They're not. But this again, they're not dying on that cross. This is a couple of guys, and trust me, trust me, you can do this. It's probably a couple of guys. You'll get all the individuals that are going there because they read a Reddit or a 4chan thing on it, and they're from those social circles, and they want to vent against the machine, whatever. But you also get guys that all they have to do is hire one or two firms in India, and they'll automatically have a botnet that can hit Rotten Tomatoes and take it down. And I'm sure Rotten Tomatoes in the beginning was happy to have that rating because, you'll get movies that get a lot of hype in the beginning and the production houses and they'll love it because, they get a lot of hype going on movies before it comes out. Now, this is just what the other side looks like. This was going to happen at some point.
So I think it's I let the movie come out and let it stand on its own merits. I agree with you, John. Who cares about the politics of anyone in the movie? Just watch the movie. You're either gonna like it or not gonna like it. It's that simple. If you're not like it because of a person in the movie, who not because of the acting ability, but them outside of the movie, then that's silly. Like, I know people who can't stand Tom Cruise, personally, so they won't go see any Tom Cruise movies, and it's like, I don't care, you know, like, so he's a Scientologist and he's been married 3 times. Who cares, you know, like, I like his movies, you know,
He's pretty weird, though.
Yeah, but
yes,
this
he's
is
a
on
weird
another,
dude, but, like, come on.
but this is on another level than that, though, really.
The Impossible movies are pretty good. So, but I think it's unfair to categorize it as they don't want a female-led movie. I think she has said some stuff that's upset them, you know, and it's like, okay, but again, who cares? Go watch the movie. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Don't try to bring it down so other people can't see it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and if you, again, this is a whole another level than, you know, I don't like Scientology and therefore I'm not going to go see Tom Cruise and John Travolta. This is, they're making some group or a couple of groups are making this part of the current political environment, which is just stupid. So,
well, it's like the Ghostbusters movie that came out a couple of years ago. Like, people feel like I hate to use the term a group of people, but there are people that feel like that they're fighting against it, took the movie down. Regardless of the fact the movie was just bad, you know?
I was about to say, so like that's a perfect example. Like, people were getting up in arms before that movie came out. And then the movie came out and it sucked. So if they just kept their mouth shut and just let it fail on its own, that would have been it. It would have been done. But because they made a stink about it, then other people on the other side fight like, oh no, you know, this is a great movie. And it's just like, but it's not, you know, like you're trying to make it a movement because one side is against it and another side, you know, so the other side's got to be for it. And it's just like, no, it's just a movie. It's just entertainment. It doesn't have to stand for something, you know? So it's just like, yeah, and either good or it's bad. It's a good entertainment or bad entertainment. Like, it's not, the world isn't going to end if Captain Marvel's a good movie or a bad movie.
Yeah. And let's be clear here. This is going to be a Marvel movie, right? So, like, there's very little chance that this is going to be bad. Seriously. Now, and even if it were like the, I don't know, Iron Man 2 of the series, or the Dark World of the whole movie series, this whole thing, it's still not, and I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now, it definitely isn't only 27% want to see bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's not a real number.
It basically comes down to, I've been saying this on Facebook over and over again. It's going to make money because it's a Marvel movie. People are going to see it, period. It's going to have a good opening weekend. It's going to do well, you know, and it's just, then it just becomes, is it a good movie or not? You know, and that, it's to A, how long does it last in the movie theater? And B, you know, where do they go with the character? But just wait till the movie comes out. Like, just stop all of this nonsense because it doesn't make a difference in the hill of beans, you know? It's like, it's either going to be a good movie or a bad movie, but it's definitely going to make money, especially on the opening weekend, because it's a Marvel movie. It's part of the MCU. All of us crazy Marvel fans are going to run out and see it, period.
People need a machine to rage against.
Apparently. But this is just, I mean, you know, you go on Rotten Tomatoes and read some of the reviews, and you look at the ones that are not interested, quote unquote, that are listed as not interested, and you'll begin to see that it's just, you know, most of these are fake. Most of them are just fake. There's no way.
Yeah, they haven't seen it.
Yeah, they haven't seen it.
Well, let's give them something to rage against. What can we say that's controversial?
What's the name of the other podcast that was dissing us? give them. No, I don't know. What we don't need to give them anything. People will always find something they want to rage against.
Joe Rogan's a sissy.
Whoa, let's not.
Whoa, dude, we don't want to end our podcast. Come on.
Yeah, for real, man. That's too controversial. We're gonna get some very angry meatheads.
No.
I'm standing by it. Joe Rogan's a sissy.
Kidding. I was kidding about that earlier.
Geez, criminy. Well, it was nice knowing you, Dave.
Send your hate tweets to Dave specifically.
Yes.
That's at Dave's WB on Twitter.
As far as the other podcast goes, man, I'll be honest. Like, as a pro wrestling fan, the WWE always chose to not acknowledge the competition because if you pretend they exist, then they have a little bit of power over you. So,
right.
If peeps have an issue with our show, that just means they're listening.
Well, that is true. That is very true.
And I'm not listening to their show, so you tell me who's winning.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Oh,
they hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us. All right.
Because they're butts?
Wait, what?
That's the joke. Did you guys see the interview? Come on, man. Even I saw that one.
All right. I think that might be a good place to end it for this week, gentlemen. What do you think?
All right. Yeah. Let me just try to get this right one more time, though. Okay?
Oh no! All right, I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me when you're done.
No. Just one second. So Dirk Manning, Kaylin Smith, they're doing the Plume Kickstarter on Wednesday, March 6th. Go to SourcePoint Press for the announcement on Wednesday, March 6th.
John.
Kid Steel, T-Dragons.
John.
Yes.
You said Plume Kickstarter. That's Kaylin's other book.
Yeah, the Kickstarter. Oh, yeah, Hope Kickstarter. Oh, God. See, I can't get it right. I'm reading notes here and I still can't get it right. So, yes. Hope Kickstarter. Yes.
Can we write the copy for Dave for next week?
I thought that, see, I'm just terrible with this. And then Kid Steel, T-Dragons, she's doing a whole book on those. The Kickstarter is on Friday, March 8th.
Hey, that one you got right. Woo!
Yay.
We'll tweet out links to those once they go live.
I think we made it worse.
Yeah.
They'll
never want to come on this show again.
Yeah, maybe we should call them up and ask them if they want to talk about it. They can do it better than I can, obviously.
All right. Do you have any things you want to recommend, JD, before we sign off?
God, no.
I will say.
You think my tongue tying is catchy or what?
I saw Lego Movie 2 over the weekend. I thought of John when I saw the movie because he had a MacGuffin device. It was
excellent.
That's awesome.
In the movie, and there was a lot of jokes like that throughout the whole thing. In fact, there's a character in there, Rex Steele, who is also voiced by Chris Pratt. And whenever he talks about his backstory, it's every other movie Chris Pratt has been in besides the Lego movie. In fact, this guy flies a spaceship, and his crew are raptors.
That's awesome.
And he's the guy who has the MacGuffin device. So
I heard the only thing they had to cut out of the Lego Movie 2 was Larry Potter because they couldn't even get away with like a third cousin.
So on that note, boys and girls. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. On that note, boys and girls.
And go see How to Train Your Dragon 3. It was excellent, and it's a nice finish to the series.
Okay. All right. On that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for listening, and don't let your cape go off the door. Have a good week.